Hello everyone, welcome to my channel today. I'm Tara with Pieces of Tara Artistry. Thank you for joining me today. So I have some exciting news. You guys probably have already heard it by now, but I am going to be back at the Fluid Art Experience in Dallas, Texas. So I'm pretty excited. I'll be doing something a little different than I did this past summer. I will be doing, focusing less on the Dutch pours and more on the pearl pours. So my classes will be like beginner pearls. You'll work with not only just white pearls, but I'll be showing you how to mix paints for colored pearls. I'll be doing a combo pearl class, which will combine the pearl pours with flip cups, blowouts, swipes, whatever you want to do. So we're going to kick the pearls up a notch and adding those combination techniques to get even more exciting compositions. I am going to be doing two bloom classes. One is going to be a bloom, like a beginner bloom. We're going to do coasters this time, which is kind of exciting because Mixed Media Girl will be there and everybody will go home with a kit to be able to finish their coasters. So you'll get resin, you'll get the cork to back it. So that's pretty exciting. And then I will be doing an advanced deconstructed bloom. We're going to practice on some smaller 4x10 tiles, but then we're gonna move on to a round canvas this time. So I'm excited. I hope you guys can join us. And if you stick around to the very end, you'll get to see who all is going to be there if you don't know already. So, and then also, the website is live. You can go on and get your tickets now. It's fluidartexperience.com. And I'll put that here on the bottom, as well as it'll be in the description box. So, all right, guys, I am going to be doing a technique that I will be teaching at the Fluid Art Experience. So it's going to be a combo pearl and blowout, but at this time I'm doing things a little bit different. Normally I use my Dutch pour paints for my blowout, but I'm gonna use my base paints this time, which are all mixed with satin enamels for the blowout part. So I hope you enjoy. I stick around till the end because I'm gonna show you something that kind of went wrong, but that I was able to fix. And so just stick around to the end to be able to see that. And that's it. So I'm excited to get painting, and hopefully you all can join us at the Fluid Art Experience in November. Okay, so I am going to be working on a 16x20 canvas today. And on this one, I normally will use my tube paints to paint my edges to get them tacky so that the design doesn't, so that it sticks to the canvas and then you don't get canvas show through. But the color that I just put down there was a quinacridone magenta by Golden Fluids, and I didn't want to use that straight from the bottle. So I used actually my paints, and then I blow dried them a little bit to get them a little more tacky. So that was the consistency you just saw of the base paints. It's basically the consistency of the paints in general that I use for my base and for my Dutch pours or my blowout colors. And now you're gonna see me, I'm gonna just start adding a bunch of puddles. So as I mentioned in the introduction, these puddles that I'm using for my base paint, they're all mixed with satin enamel. So I'm going to be doing a pearl pour, but it's going to be kind of a pearl pour that I don't stretch on the entire canvas. I'm just going to kind of do a diagonal, and then I'm going to do a blowout in the two corners. And instead of using the Dutch pour paints that I normally use, which are basically the same as my pour over paint, or I call also puddle paints, those paints are all basically interchangeably used by me, and I'm sorry that there's so many terms, but all those paints are mixed the same normally. I use, for again, like for the blowout part, I normally will use like my Dutch pour paints. But on this one, I decided I was going to try using the puddle paints that I have used, like my base puddle paints, in that recipe for the blowout, because it's all really the same consistency. So I decided I would try it. So all those colors were mixed with the satin enamel. Now this white Amsterdam paint, it's an Amsterdam white, is mixed only with GAC 800 and Floetrol and water to get it to a thin consistency. So that is basically my pour over color, and it is what will, it basically will sink, and the satin enamel paints will rise to the top and create these pearls that have kind of a cloudy outer edge to them. So I I tilt this kind of back and forth, and then basically if you watch here, so you see on the edges there, the pearls are starting to form. And now if you look a little closer, you see that the pearls are starting to form on that lower right hand edge. So that's when I start to tilt it back towards the table, and I get the paint back towards center. And the reason for that is because I don't like wonky pearls, and if you overstretch them, then your pearls become wonky. Now, I probably could have stretched it back towards the center a little bit more, because then I would have gotten a little bit more cell formation on that upper left-hand corner, but it was fine. It ended up being okay. You see me adding my colors for my blowout. These are basically all, again, the same colors for the Dutch pour. I put my hair dryer, which is the Kiss Pro, on low cool, and I just blow this section out. There was a couple sections that needed to kind of be refined, but you'll see me, I'm gonna pop in here in a second, and you'll see me kind of adding a little bit of color, using my mouth to blow things out a little bit. But I was actually really pleased with how this turned out. At first, it was like a lot of color for me, and I have been using color more lately, and these colors specifically I've actually used a lot lately in my blooms, but I wanted to see how they would all react together with a pearl pour and a Dutch pour. And actually, the TLP colors were stunning. I was so excited how they worked out with the pearl pour. And as this base coat for the satin enamel, when it dries, you'll see how really pretty that this turned out with those TLPs. That sea glass I think I used, and sockeye in the TLPs. If you are wondering how I mix my TLPs for to be able to do this technique, I do have a video on actually mixing them. I will list it above here, and then I'll list it in the description box below. But TLPs aren't just for the bloom, guys. You can use them in resin. You can use them in Dutch pours and straight pours and ring pours and flip cups. So check out that video, because basically what I do is I show you how to mix the pigments so that into paint, and then you can use them for whatever technique that you want. And this actually really works for any pigment. Same basic concept works. So, but yeah, you guys check that out as well. I really, like I said, this was a lot of color at first and I was like really not sure about it. But really the satin enamel, it really turned out really pretty for the blowout part. The colors are super vibrant. They dried with like a satin sheen. My pearls ended up being really, really great on this one. There is a section coming up that I'm going to show you that I did fix. But yeah, the satin enamel in the blowout part really kind of creates a different look. But I really liked it. And I love all those multicolored pearls. Are kind of like unicorn pearls to me. I don't know if that's what you would call them, but that's what I'm going to call them. And so yeah, that's the wet results. And then here we go. This is the part that I ended up not liking. See where that blue and that pink kind of got cloudy? I actually went in with my paintbrush and I just erased that. I basically used my white paint to erase it, and you wouldn't even know that that part was there. So this is the dried results. It ended up drying really, really pretty. Really great results with the colored pearls, with the satin enamel. If you can see that satin sheen, this is not varnished at all, but it really dried with such a pretty sheen to it. And that's it. That is the dried result. If you like what you're seeing, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're notified each time I put out a new video. Go check out my dad's channel, DJ Fluid Arts. And here is the trailer for the Fluid Art Experience and who's going to be there. Hope you guys can make it. Bye, y'all.